Pakistan to India at the invitation of External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Tajikistan, His Excellency Mr. Sirajuddin Muruddin, will be paying an official visit to New Delhi on 18th to 20th December 2021. Apart from his meeting with External Affairs Minister on 18th of December, where, of course, the ministers will discuss bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. And they will also undertake a comprehensive review of bilateral cooperation. The visiting foreign minister is also expected to meet other dignitaries during his visit. There has been an active exchange of visits between both sides during the year. EM had visited Tajikistan on 3 occasions during this year for a bilateral visit, as well as participation in the Heart of Asia conference in March, the SCO Foreign Ministers meeting in June, and the SCO Council of Heads of State Summit in September. Raksha Mantri and National Security Advisor visited Tajikistan in June for the SCO meetings. From the Tajik side, Secretary of the Security Council visited India in February and again in November for the regional security dialogue. The visit of the Foreign Minister of Tajikistan will sustain the momentum of high-level exchanges and further strengthen the strategic partnership between our two countries. My next announcement is regarding the 3rd India-Central Asia Dialogue. External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar will be hosting the 3rd meeting of the India-Central Asia Dialogue in New Delhi from 18th to 20th December 2021. Foreign ministers of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, apart from India of course, will participate in the meeting. The 2nd meeting was organized by India in October 2020 in digital video conference format. There has been ongoing engagement between India and the 5 Central Asian countries over the last few years. India considers Central Asia as part of its extended neighborhood. EM visited Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan this year. And he also met with the Foreign Minister of Turkmenistan in October this year. As part of the 3rd meeting of the India-Central Asia Dialogue, that is on 19th December this year, the ministers are expected to discuss further strengthening of relations between India and Central Asian countries, with particular focus on trade, connectivity, and development cooperation. They will also exchange views on regional and international issues of mutual interest. The foreign ministers of the Central Asian countries are expected to pay a joint courtesy call on Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. The holding of the annual meetings of the India-Central Asia Dialogue is symbolic of the interest on part of all member countries for greater engagement between them in a spirit of friendship, trust, and mutual understanding. My final announcement is regarding the 2nd Atal Bihari Vajpayee Memorial Lecture. The Ministry of External Affairs is organizing the 2nd Atal Bihari Vajpayee Lecture on 24th of December 2021. The lecture this year will be delivered by Dr. Michael Fullilove, Executive Director of the Lowy Institute of Australia. Foreign Secretary will preside over the event. This is the 2nd edition of this lecture series, which was instituted in the memory of former Prime Minister and External Affairs Minister, late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Shri Vajpayee played an important role in shaping India's foreign policy, and this memorial lecture is a flagship event of MEA to recall his contributions. The event will be live streamed on the ministry's digital platforms. Okay, I think with those announcements, I'm happy to take questions. Let's start off with Siddhant again, fastest finger. Okay.
So my question is on the dialogue which is going to take place on 19th. How much the focus will be on Afghanistan, because Central Asia is worried about the fallout from Afghanistan, and also when it comes to the use of Chabahar port, because India has been in the past pitching for Chabahar port as a connectivity from Central Asia to India.
Look, as I always say, and you've heard other people from this forum say, we are not in a position to prejudge what they will say or not say. But I would think that given the interests of the members of this dialogue, regional developments will certainly play an important element of their conversation. As regards the Chabahar port itself, look, I think connectivity is an important element. And I think there will be a discussion on how we can strengthen connectivity between Central Asia and India. And that's been whether it will exactly through Chabahar or other modalities. And there are multiple ways we are looking at this. Let's wait for the dialogue to happen. We had a couple of rounds of dialogue, and they've been very useful in strengthening and bringing our countries together on issues that I had just mentioned. One second, I saw his hand first. I'll come to you.
मधुरेंद्र फ्रॉम न्यूज़ नेशन। सर, मेरा सवाल रूस, चीन और भारत के बीच पॉसिबल डायलॉग को लेकर है। क्या RIC फॉर्मेट में इस तरह की किसी बातचीत को लेकर भारत इन्वॉल्व है, और कब तक एक्सपेक्टेड है ये बातचीत?
आप किसी न्यूज़ रिपोर्ट के साथ जिक्र कर रहे होंगे जो आपने कहा नहीं। या प्लीज, यू हैव अ रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन टू दैट? ओके, प्लीज।
Would you like, is India willing to accept Russia as a peacemaker between India and China? Third party sort of.
Peacemaker, you said, right?
Not peacemaker, talk.
Okay. Anybody has any question on this one? You're wasting your questions on this one question. Which already.
I presume I can ask the second question. I'm pushing my luck, but
okay.
So RIC exists, of course, as a format. Are we heading towards an RIC summit?
I think I'll answer it in a common part, and let's see if I can answer some of them. आपने पूछा रूस, इंडिया, चीन के बारे में। देखिए, जैसे आपको पता ही होगा, अभी हाल ही में आई थिंक नवंबर 26 पर ये इसी फॉर्मेट में विदेश मंत्री लेवल पे वर्चुअल मीटिंग हुई थी। उसके आगे मेरे पास भी कुछ नहीं है, कोई ऐसा कोई सब्सिक्वेंट डेवलपमेंट हो। इसके बाद मेरे पास कुछ ऐसा स्पेसिफिक नहीं है आपके साथ शेयर करने के लिए। एज रिगार्ड्स योर पार्ट ऑफ, आई डोंट नो वेदर whichever way. I look, as I just mentioned, we've had the RIC format exists, as you also said. The RIC format exists. We have had foreign minister level meetings recently in the virtual format on 26 November. I don't have anything beyond that for you at the moment on any subsequent developments that are being referred to. I certainly wouldn't like to I think we have very good relations with Russia. And I don't know whether, categorizing them in the way you have is something that I would be comfortable with. So I'll leave it at that. One minute, one by one. Anything else on that? No follow. Hold on. I'll come back to your question. Your question was?
Sir, in the light of what the Russian presidential aide has said, so obviously amongst the two of the three members, there is a very definite move towards a summit. So I was just.
Let me clarify again. I am not in a position to comment on media reports. I don't have anything particular beyond the RIC foreign ministers meeting that happened to share with you or for you on subsequent developments, as I said. If there is anything to share, we'll certainly come back to you on this. Okay. One by one. You had a question on otherwise? Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, मैं प्रदीप कुमार। तो बीजिंग ओलंपिक को लेकर बहुत सारे कंट्रोवर्सी स्टेटमेंट आ रहे फ्रॉम द चाइना साइड। सो जैसे हमारा देश के लिए भी एक ये ऐसा कुछ चाइना से कुछ
किस तरह के कंट्रोवर्सी?
कंट्रोवर्सी ये है कि जो जैसे पार्टिसिपेंट करना नहीं करना।
देखिए, हमने मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स कुछ देखे हैं, इस पे हमारे देश की तरफ से तो कुछ कहा नहीं गया था। इनफैक्ट आपको अगर याद होगा, हमारे जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट में हमने सपोर्ट भी किया था, पर कोई डेवलपमेंट उसके बाद हुआ है, मुझे ऐसे मैं अवगत नहीं हूँ उसमें। Somebody else had a hand up? Yeah, please.
I'm Sandeep Dikshit with the Tribune. This is regarding the 2+2 with US. Could you tell us some dates, whether it's this year or next year?
Let me put it this way. Look, I will go out on a limb and say this year has only 14 more or 15 more days. I don't think it's going to be this year. But let me just make a larger point that we have our dialogue and engagement with the US has been quite intense, quite regular. And we look forward to holding the next 2+2 ministerial meeting with the US. Details are being worked out, but I'm afraid we haven't got a date as yet for to share with you. Somebody else had a hand up. Yes, please.
Sir, I am Akhilesh Suman from Sunset TV. India and Iran have a very good relationship, and we are cooperating with Iran in many ways. So now Iran has allowed IAEA to reinstall cameras at its nuclear sites. So will you tell that sanctions should be removed from Iran and normal relations of Iran should exist between to India and Iran and other countries also?
No, I didn't get your question.
Do you think that sanctions should be removed from Iran?
Which sanctions?
US has put
Okay.
sanctions, EU has put sanctions. Those sanctions should be removed so that Iran can join the mainstream
I think
cooperation.
you've bundled a lot of, so let me clarify. I think you bundled a couple of different questions. We have noted decision by Iran, of course. I think there's some access of cameras to a site. We have always called upon Iran to fulfill its obligation that it has taken. And what it does with the IAEA is, of course, on the bilateral side of it, or with the IAEA, not really bilateral. We have also encouraged members of JCPOA and to carry forward with the conversations. But I don't think we have got into the issue of the unilateral US sanctions, and I'm not sure that is something. That's why I clarified, and these are not UN sanctions. So I don't think we have made any comment on that at all. And we hope the discussions among the parties, can go forward. That's how I think I'll leave it at that. Yes, ma'am. I'll come back to you, ma'am. I have other.
So Ranjana from the UNI. So what is the state of the wheat shipments? Because last time we heard the
wheat.
Gehu,
okay.
So the modalities have been cleared. So have they begun? What is the state, and in how many days would it be reaching? And also, there was
That's
a recent
multiple questions.
No, related. There was in the parliament there was an answer by the EAM on the Chabahar port and how so much has been transported via the Chabahar port to Afghanistan. So why didn't we transport the wheat via Chabahar? Why did we have to wait for over a month for Pakistan to say yes? And even still, we don't know whether or when the wheat shipments are going, especially since Afghanistan is in a real dire situation. They're really waiting for humanitarian aid. And also, when are we sending more medicines? Like we did send some via plane. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Look, I think let me begin by reiterating our special relationship with the people of Afghanistan, and of course our, the approach of India as well as the international community, the UN Security Council Resolution 2593. I think that guides us. We will continue to provide humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan, such as life-saving medicines and wheat that you mentioned. As we had announced and you are aware, we had dispatched about 2 tons or 1.6 tons of medical supplies as humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. I think it was on December 11th. And these were handed over to the representatives of the World Health Organization in Kabul. We are also committed to sending more medicines and medical supplies, as well as 50,000 metric tons of wheat. I had mentioned last time that we were in touch with Pakistan authorities on the modalities of supply of these 50,000 metric tons of wheat, as well as the other medical supplies that I mentioned as humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. Look, it's a complex operation, and I would just request you to be patient. And as soon as we have any update on this, we will certainly come back to you on it. I would not like to get into what modalities we could use. About Chabahar port is functional. It has, as External Affairs Minister mentioned, it has been receiving shipments. It's been a useful conduit. But look, there are other factors which are important in this, and it also requires the recipient organization to be able to receive it, take it, and the most common way it has been going is through the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, and I think that's why the discussions are with Pakistan authorities on this. As I said, let's just be patient. It's 50,000 tons of wheat, and let's see when we come back to you on this. इसमें supplementary, ये parliament नहीं है, but anyway, आप पूछिए. Another question, please go ahead.
गेहूं जो पाकिस्तान के रास्ते जाना है,
जिसकी
मॉडलिटीज़ पे अभी बात हो रही है, इसके अलावा भी क्या 50,000 मीट्रिक टन गेहूं और चाबहार के जरिए भेजे जाने की कोई योजना है?
मेरे पास ऐसा कोई खबर नहीं है. मैं जिस 50,000 टन की बात कर रहा था वो हम पाकिस्तान के ज़रिए लैंड रूट से भेजने की बात चल रही है, उस पर मोडालिटीज़ की बात चल रही है, और उसमें दवाइयाँ और लाइफ सिविल मेडिसिन जिसकी बात की हैं, कुछ हम भेज चुके हैं प्लेन से। हम इसको, जैसे मैंने कहा कि हमारा इरादा तो यही है कि और भेजते रहें, इसमें मोडालिटीज़ जैसे फाइनलाइज हो जाए. Anybody? Yes, ma'am. You had a second question. Anybody? The first round questions I have missed out. Okay, simple. We'll find out on the answer.
No, I just wanted to
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
Have you all decided on who is going to be the Republic Day guests? When are you all announcing it?
I don't know about other people from the Ministry of External Affairs. Let me mention that that we have a tradition of having a Republic Day chief guests. But announcements of this nature are made at a suitable occasion or time, and we will certainly share with you once that's finalized. No other questions on the first round? I'm taking a few odd second round. Okay, and we'll close it.
India Central Asian dialogue third, which you mentioned. The representation, you mentioned the foreign minister of Tajikistan's visit separately.
Yes.
What about the other countries? Will they be represented at the FM level?
Yes. Sorry, let me clarify. I thought I read it out.
No, you mentioned Tajikistan.
We are having, no, I meant, let me clarify. I made two separate announcements. The reason is the Tajik foreign minister is on a bilateral visit to India on 18th to 20th, but with the main day of engagement being the 18th Saturday. That's a bilateral visit. Subsequently, the Tajik foreign minister, along with the other foreign ministers of the other 4 Central Asian countries, as well as External Affairs Minister, will attend the third India Central Asia dialogue, which will be held on 19th, Sunday, in New Delhi. And all of them will also have a joint courtesy call with the Prime Minister, whose dates and time are still being worked out. So yes, our understanding is that all 5 foreign ministers have confirmed their participation, and we look forward to receiving and hosting them in New Delhi this weekend. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So, Pakistan has said that 50,000 tons should be sent via Wagha border by December 31st. Some reports have come like this. Will you ask for extending the date?
Look, what will happen after 31st of December?
I don't know. Pakistan has said that send it by
I see. Okay.
December 31st.
No. Look, I think that's what I said. Modalities are being worked out. We are hopeful that at some point when these are resolved, we should be able to send it. I'm not sure if there is a deadline or if there are talks. I don't have information of that. Okay. If there are no further questions, thank you very much. Okay, you still have a question? Okay. You didn't ask the first round, did you? Okay, go ahead. I think I have to be harder on the first question.
सर ओमिक्रॉन पे क्या अपडेट है इन टर्म्स ऑफ फ्लाइट ऑपरेशंस और जिस तरह की अभी WHO से कम्युनिकेशन है, क्या और कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं ताकि भारत में इसके स्प्रेड को रोका जा सके?
देखिए, ये जो आपने प्रश्न पूछा, ये हमारे हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री को ही पूछना पड़ेगा. हमारे फ्लाइट की तरफ से नए कुछ कदम अनाउंस किए गए थे, आई थिंक 28 या 29 नवंबर को. फिर कुछ आई थिंक प्री बुकिंग की कल अनाउंसमेंट हुई है. ये हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री गाइडलाइंस और सिविल एविएशन से. हमारे पास ऐसा कोई इमीडिएट डेवलपमेंट नहीं है. आई थिंक इस पर नज़र रखे हुए हैं हमारे हेल्थ अथॉरिटीज़, ताकि ओमिक्रॉन बाहरी देशों से अगर कोई आए तो उनके लिए स्पेशल स्क्रीनिंग मैकेनिज्म हो. Okay, I think we'll close it at that. Thank you very much. Appreciate your presence. Namaskar.